episode number 3 of the Next Gen Retro Men podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm Adrian.
And I'm Jason.
So I'm going to jump right into stuff that bothered me from last week. Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks was on the DS. We were all right. We just all second guessed ourselves, but we were right. So League of Legends, we kind of talked about it for a second, but I mean, I don't think you're still that much into it, right, Jason? Just a little bit?
I'm into the idea of it. I can't play it because my laptop can't run it, and we had to make room for the baby, so the gaming PC is in storage for now. So I can't really play it, but I like it. I like the world of it.
All right.
It's just I can't play it.
I can't do anything like online because I'll just get murdered by everybody.
And spots.
They
Spots are
announced a
dumb
lot.
and make you feel good.
They announced a lot more than we really covered. There was Project L, which is a League of Legends fighting game.
Yeah.
Project A, which is a tactical shooter that's not set in the League of Legends universe, which is kind of cool. That's the one out of all this that I think is the most interesting to me. Still won't play it, but you know. Another one that's actually kind of cool, Esports Manager. It's you managing esports League of Legends teams. And the coolest thing that they showed from that was revenue from that game will be shared with teams that are featured in the game. So it's a way to increase like awareness of esports. So it's kind of cool.
They already give out scholarships too, I do believe, because they have a summer. Like, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. They also announced Legends of Runeterra, which is a collectible card game set in the League of Legends universe. And then they teased something Project F, which no one really knows what it is, but it seems like it might be a multiplayer action RPG or an MMO. No one really knows. And the animated series that you mentioned, Jason, is called Arcane, and it's set in the League universe and will explore backstories of characters.
Did you watch the trailer for that?
Nope, I didn't watch any of it.
Yeah. Arcane looks really good, and the Project L League of Legends fighting game is being made by a team made like a pretty popular PC fighting game, and it's very much going to be like their kind of Guilty Gear and BlazBlue style fighting game, those Arc Sys games.
Isn't it Seth Killian that left Capcom, then went to Sony and worked on Battle Royale, PlayStation Battle Royale All Stars, whatever?
Yes. Yeah,
so might be cool, but you know, I don't need another fighting game. So, there are 7 drawers in Chrono Trigger.
So I got off 5-2.
5-2. All right. We also mentioned Critters and the series or mini series we were talking about. It's called Critters: A New Binge, and it premiered on Shudder, which is a horror themed subscription channel. Earlier
under your bed, Jason.
That's fair.
Earlier this year, 8 episodes have been released, and they haven't been greenlit for a second season. Reception was mixed.
Yeah. If they're under my bed, could they bring me all those pacifiers I've dropped while trying to put Grayson to sleep? That'd be great.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
The Mario 64 level that had the haunted piano was called Big Boo's Haunt. But it is commonly referred to as Boo's Mansion, but the official name, Big Boo's Haunt. I made a joke about Ocarina of Time being rated E for everyone. It had no rating upon release, but all the subsequent re-releases have it rated E. And I believe all the Zelda games are rated E, except a few have been rated T for teen. I think Twilight Princess and a few others. And we're going to, I'm going to have to correct this now. And we're literally going to have Legend of Zelda corrections in, every episode as we talk about this.
This is the new Zelda podcast.
Intruders was a 4-hour miniseries about alien abduction that aired in 1992. It was based off a book called Intruders: The Incredible Visitations at Copley Woods, based on a true story. So there you go, Adrian. And finally, Momo was sculpted, and the name of it's not Momo, but it was sculpted by a man by the name of, and I'm going to get this wrong,
You want me to do
Kaisuke
it?
Iso? Go for it.
Keisuke Aiso.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to just refer to you now and all that. So I don't sound as white as I am.
I'm super white.
And just so you know, Adrian, it has been destroyed and disposed of. It like deteriorated on its own naturally, and then it, you know.
So like on its own, like its soul left.
Well, it was made out of non like permanent materials or something, I guess. But it's destroyed and disposed of. Momo is dead officially.
But its spirit remains.
On the internet forever.
Like
All
the
right,
Marines.
so that is the end of stuff that bothered me from last week. We're going to jump into some news real quick.
Star Wars.
Star Wars Episode 9, final trailer released. Where's your hype level at on this, guys?
I'm
9.
liking.
I would say 9.
I would say 8. I still have a bad taste in my mouth with the last 2 movies.
I'm going to go 8. Abrams is back. I liked Force Awakens more than Last Jedi.
I need Abrams to like stick the landing here. Like he's not just doing one movie. He's not even ending like a trilogy. He's ending like a whole 9 movie plus sequel 30-year story.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. The Star Wars fans can be some of the worst fans, where they love it so much, but they hate everything about it at the same time. It's kind of weird.
Like playing League of Legends.
Like the people that hate Star Wars the most are Star Wars fans.
Yes.
Like you have 3 different fans. You have the like trilogy purists, and then you have the kids who grew up watching the prequels and the Clone Wars series, and then you have the kids who are growing up watching this current stuff. And the kids who are growing up watching this current stuff, they don't care. They love it. And then the prequel people are a little more, yeah, we're okay with this. And then the original series fans are like, you cut off Luke. Why?
Yeah, I'm more in that asshole group.
I just, I mean, the thing is like,
I want a good movie. That's all I care about.
Exactly. Just
Same.
Just a good movie.
But I'm more excited for The Mandalorian than I am for Rise of Skywalker. The Mandalorian looks so awesome. It's got Carl Weathers in it, man. Like,
yeah.
Make another stew.
There's still meat on that bone. So we're gonna jump straight from that into the. None of us are really super into wrestling. However, THQ doesn't even exist anymore, right?
THQ Nordic exists.
Anyways,
the Legend of the
2K,
Monkey King game. Yeah.
2K games, because it's right in the title. WWE 2K20 was released, and it is a hot pile of garbage. It's hilarious how bad this game looks. Like the fact that a game was released in this state. Just go to YouTube and look up WWE 2K20 graphics. Like it looks like PS2 N64, or not N64 bad, like PS2 bad graphics. It's hilarious.
And the model rendering is showing teeth. It's like Assassin's Creed Unity all over again.
Dude, it's worse. It's worse. It's hilarious how bad it is. Like I don't care about WW games at all. I think the last game I really got into was WCW versus NWO Revenge on the N64. I mean, it's still kind of like wrestling. It's not something I'm super into, but if it's on TV and there's nothing on, I'll watch it. We'll touch on wrestling more probably next week. The developers, though, announced or released a statement on Twitter on Friday, October 25th, and this is what it says. We are listening closely to the feedback that's been shared regarding WWE 2K20 and are aware of the concerns some players are reporting. We're working hard to investigate these concerns and address them as necessary. We expect to have an initial patch ready in the next 2 weeks with others to follow. Stay tuned to WWE Games social media channels for more information. That's really bad. Like,
So they're just basically saying like, we know this is garbage and we're sorry.
yeah,
So it's
and wait 2 weeks.
basically
Wait
sports
2
anthem.
weeks for us to fix it. It's bad. The fans are like in full on revolt. I think really, so behind the scenes, Ukes has made the WWE games for years and years and years. They left. I don't know who initiated them leaving, but Ukes left, and I think Vicarious Visions, this is going to be a correction, was left to make this game with like a piece of an engine, and rather than not releasing the game, which I believe they're contractually obligated to do, they just put it out. New people would buy it, and here we are. So it's pretty bad.
Sounds like early '80s Atari bullshit.
Oh, it's worse than that.
Yeah, because it has Roman Reigns
on the cover. Yeah. Anyways,
Uh,
speaking of games with rough launches, Fallout 76 announced Fallout First, which is private servers for the game with some other perks for $100 for a year. It's a subscription fee.
it's just why?
Who
Who asked for this? That's my question.
The fans have asked for private servers, but Bethesda's making them pay. They're trying to milk everything out of this game that they can right now.
They already made them pay by releasing the game.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this game's had just one of the worst launches I can recall. And speaking of recall, the helmet got recalled. The canvas bag that was actually like ripstop nylon, not necessarily recalled, but was replaced because they lied to him about it. It's
I
been
like that
ugly.
transition, Ryan. Good job.
Yeah, segues, baby.
Yeah.
It's just and the thing is like they're a thing in there is basically saying you have unlimited scrap, where you scrap things in the game, you get the like materials to build things in it. The chest that had the unlimited scrap was showing that it had all been taken away. 2K Bethesda has since come out and said, no, it's a bug. Like where your scrap is still there. If you go to try to build something, you'll be able to build it. It's just displaying a 0 in there, but it's still awful. They're like, you can't. If someone's on your friends list and you're playing Fallout 76 and they want to join, they can just join your private server. It's not really private. Like, randoms can't join, but if you have someone on your friends list and you don't want to play with them at the time, you're trying to play solo, you can't stop them from joining.
You can't block them. You have no control over it.
Not really. It's so it's a private server that's not private, and they've come out and said that so people were going into these private servers and finding things that had already been looted. Like, you'd go to open a chest or a shelf or something to loot it and look through it, and there was nothing in it. And so you weren't even getting like brand new worlds. Like, it was recycled worlds. They've since come out and said the reason it was doing that was it working as intended, because if you loot something in the game, leave that server and join another server, it's still going to have it as looted for you. So it's kind of just doing the same thing. But some people have already said like that's not the case. But I mean, Fallout 76 is a hot mess. They just keep, and with the Outer Worlds coming out, which I really want to play the Outer Worlds the more I read about it, so I need to jump on that. With that coming out and them just really calling Bethesda and Fallout out is kind of hilarious to me.
Well, they listen to this podcast, so they'll get the message.
So finally, I know, Jason, you wanted to talk about some hoity-toity movie directors.
Okay, so Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, famous movie directors from like The Godfather. Like they did perfect movies have said that comic book movies in general, basically Marvel, are devoid of emotion and not cinema for the most part. They just said that there's no respect for them whatsoever.
You said they're
And
like
so,
theme park
Yeah,
movies
I
or
think
something?
one of them clarified today, I think, or the 27th, whatever day we're recording this, came out and said they're like a new form of cinema. It's or not cinema, but like a new form of movies where it's like a theme park attraction. So he's kind of walking back on it, but
I mean, it's all entertainment. Like what you like.
yeah.
and
Well, they're
it's
they're
like they
And
want
if
to
you don't
say
like
it's
it,
not
don't shit on someone
cinema.
else's.
they're looking at it as like an art form where
People like going to the art museum, and then people like going to the theme parks.
Yeah.
You know.
I like both.
Yeah.
And you want to tell me like they're devoid of emotion and have no like real. They were complaining that all of these movies don't have any form of artistic like speak. They wanted to be like they have no emotion, they have no real say. And I mean, you can't really say stuff like that whenever Black Panther is up for Best Picture, and it's probably one of the best versions of like representation in film that's ever been released. It's like they're, in my opinion, just cranky old dudes who are mad that these movies are doing well. Bob
Yeah.
Iger went off on them in
Yeah.
a hilarious message. It's like I don't even know how to like
You think it's
respond
like
to this.
You think it's kind of like a jealousy kind of thing too? Like they're kind of
I don't think
relics.
it's jealousy. I think they're just old. They don't know what to do.
You
I
just
don't
made
know.
Joker too,
You didn't make it.
or produced Scorsese. Didn't
Oh.
he produce it or something?
No.
No,
it's
it was just
it's just
based
a
off his
rip
stuff.
Oh.
Just rip off
Based off
Taxi
his
Driver.
stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, like I like Taxi Driver, but Joker was good too. There's more room for the things other than art films.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like again, don't shit on someone else's. Don't shit on the things that they like. That's like the whole point of like this podcast, like geek culture.
Yeah, you dicks.
So
With
fuck you, Scorsese.
Godfather 3 was bad.
We'll never get him as a guest now.
That's
We'll
fine.
get Coppola.
That's fine. He's on the list. Scorsese's on our list now.
I like Coppola's wine. There's that. All right, so moving on. What are you into, Adrian?
Not Taxi Driver. No. No. I finally saw El Camino this past week. All you Breaking Bad fans out there, not Ryan.
I'll get to it.
I said the same thing about a lot of things.
It was good. It was really good. It was a nice little, punctuation mark at the end of this whole story. There's not really much you can do with other characters, but some characters that they brought back was really, were really heartwarming. I don't want to get into spoilers. I don't know if everyone else hasn't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it, but I also don't have Netflix currently.
We'll
I'm
give it
allowed
that.
one streaming service at a time, so I pick View because it's football season.
True.
Oh, you gotta dump it after Disney Plus comes out.
Yeah, that's my plan.
Disney Plus has Hulu, so.
And Disney has Star Wars, and football does not, except on Monday nights.
Except for when that trailer aired.
Yes.
I'm planning a trip to Uvalde to go see sister-in-law and the kids, and going to brother-in-law's football game. He's a coach out there, so he's gonna hang out with them for the weekend and do a little Halloween thing. And then this past weekend was my birthday, so we went to the Tool concert.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
All
All of the lasers.
the
There's
lasers.
so many lasers.
Too much lasers?
No.
No. Okay.
Never
There's
enough.
such thing. How do you think Star Wars has gotten by?
Oh yeah. Laser swords. We went to the museum yesterday with the wife and kid. That was a lot of fun. What else? Oh, still dealing with that car curse. It was shaking on the way over here, so
Oh, jeez.
I might be sleeping on the side of the road. What about you, Ryan?
I'm still playing Destiny 2. Surprise. I actually was kind of starting to get a little worn out with it, and then I got some new like exotic armor that basically gives me a really good perk where it reloads a certain class of weapon in the game, like a auto rifle or a light machine gun. It reloads it continuously as you're using it, like slowly. And then I got another exotic that is a like auto rifle. It's called Sweet Business. It's a like minigun essentially, and it's like the two of those combined is basically just the old painless scene from Predator, where I can literally without stopping or reloading, I can fire for like 45 seconds.
You're Jesse Ventura.
Yes. Goddamn sexual Tyrannosaurus. So yeah, those have kind of kept my interest with that. I want to try Outer Worlds. See if I can red box it, maybe. Who knows? Same thing with Modern Warfare. I won't touch the multiplayer in that, but I just want to rent it and do the popcorn flick single player campaign that they always not always have in those. But that's what I've done with the last few that has the single player campaign. Just red box it, beat it in a day, and return it, and I'm fine with it that way.
I think last year was the only one that skipped the single player.
Yeah, so far. We'll see what happens. They were just seeing what they could get away with, I guess.
This one's really pretty.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, like I said, I'll play it and I'll enjoy the single player and I'll move on.
Yeah.
What about you, Jason?
I get dragged on to Destiny 2 to play Gambit every once in a while.
Yeah, who does that?
That I enjoy. I enjoy my Destiny time. It's really like it's like you said, it's pop. Like about Call of Duty, it's just like I'm logging in, I'm playing a little bit, it's fun, and then logging off. Been watching a lot of horror movies, just catching up on classics. It's that time of year. We've already talked about it, but
what have you watched?
Ryan, you need to see Hereditary.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which was that?
Hereditary, without getting too much into it, is the one that came out early last year, and it has like a girl who clicks her tongue. That movie has shook me. It is the Momo of my mind right now.
Well,
it is.
Scratch it off my list.
It is great. It is by far, like Scorsese wants to complain about movies. This movie is like a classic to me. I think it's the best horror movie that's come out in a long time. I've been watching a lot of other things, like what is that one with Jordan Peele, Us? I watched that one, and
well, you're staring like classics, man. I thought you were gonna be like.
No, I've also been. I made Grace watch Halloween, and we forgot how boring that movie is for like the first 3/4 of that movie. We watched the third Friday the 13th because that's the best to laugh at and just have fun with.
You need to watch Halloween Season of the Witch. It's the one that doesn't have Michael Myers in it.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
God, I love that one. It's so dumb. I love it. I always have that song stuck in my head. The dun 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 dun. Happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. The Silver Shamrock. I don't know. I love that movie. It's so dumb. I love it.
Oh no, quick. Talking about shitty movies. My wife for my birthday got me tickets to see Mystery Science Theater.
Oh hell yeah!
In I think February.
Cool.
What movie they roasting?
Oh, I don't know yet, but it's the original guy, Joel Hodgson? I forgot his name.
Hello.
Joel.
It'll be in the corrections next week.
Yeah. Sorry, Ryan. And the robots are, so it's not just like riff tracks, it's like the robots will be there too.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
So I'm really looking forward to that.
Crow.
Other than that, I got the car curse right after we had our podcast last week. My tire blew out while I was looking for a house, so thanks guys.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I plugged 2 holes in my tire. It's survived. It survived overnight, and I'm probably gonna ride it till it blows.
Heyo.
Do I have to? No.
Just let it go.
It's just okay. And Grace was on a summer camp or fall camp, science camp all week, and I had alone time with Grayson all week, which was really great. Being a dad's the best thing in the world, but Remember how you guys were commenting on how the sleep is fine? They're gonna catch up to me at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught up. Caught up fast.
Are you seeing tracers?
Like from Overwatch. Yeah.
Oh my god, I hate you.
But yeah, it caught up real hard, and he's been deciding to grow 4 teeth at the same time now too, or 2 teeth or something. He doesn't want to go to sleep, and whenever he does wake up at night, he doesn't want his pacifier. He wants to slap that out of your hand, and he wants to cry. So it's been rough. So people out there, tell me how to soothe a teething baby.
I mean, like
comments,
teething rings and getting some that allow you to put them like in the fridge. That'll help.
There's some kind of
the thing you got to watch out for is when they're teething, they're drooling, and when they're drooling, they're swallowing it, and then that leads to diarrhea. So good luck.
Oh yeah, that happened.
Sucks, and it's gonna suck.
It just
first day
sucks.
Grace got back, he let it all out. He let it go.
He was
It was
holding
everywhere.
it for her. That was nice
So,
of him.
Have kids, guys. It's great. I recommend it. It's the best thing in the world, but it's also the most tiring thing ever.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. All right.
That's pretty much it. I'll tap into other stuff later in this show, I think.
Yeah. So this week we want to talk about cartoons, like our favorite cartoons growing up, and then we'll touch on cartoons that our kids watch that we have to watch because they're watching it, and which one of those just suck, and which
ones secretly cure teething.
Yeah, and which one of those I actually, which ones we enjoy. There's some that I don't hate watching, and sometimes I'll watch them when they're not around,
And a couple of guilty pleasures, too.
Oh, yeah. So, my favorite cartoons growing up, I'm just going to shoot through a list here, and we'll, stop and talk about some of them. When I was real little was Dave and the Gnome. It was on Nick Jr. I can look up that theme song every once in a while, and it's so nostalgic to me. It's like one of the earliest memories I have is that show with Swift the Fox and all that.
Do you remember I think it's the last episode of that series?
No, is it brutal?
It's so sad.
They all die or something.
I remember the dad
man.
from Happy Days was the voice of David the Gnome.
Tom Bosley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So, and then just as a kid, man, I love Dino Saucers, which has like the coolest theme song to me outside of, some of the other, like, it's the most underrated one, I think, or obscure. I loved the Real Ghostbusters because, like, it had to be called the Real Ghostbusters.
Not that fake shit.
Well, yeah, there was licensing issues. There's another one that you've seen it. It has like a gorilla and like a talking car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the Real Ghostbusters. I like the Real Ghostbusters. Silverhawks, like I wasn't super in. Like I like that weird obscure one, and Brave Star also I think, and I didn't like. I wasn't super into like Thundercats and He-Man and stuff. Like I liked He-Man, but for whatever reason, like Silverhawks was my jam.
Was that the cowboy?
Yeah, there was like a cowboy who was like blue and he had the guitar and he was the pilot of the spaceship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I love that show. And then man, the big one. I think it'll be the big one for all of us. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah, hands down.
They marketed that so well at us, and I still have a box somewhere just full of Ninja Turtles.
Never heard of it.
Where's this box?
It's downstairs in my game room closet. We can find it. We'll
right.
pull them out.
I don't know what y'all are doing after this podcast.
We're playing Ninja Turtles.
Sit in the basement playing Ninja Turtles.
And then I like after Ninja Turtles, like I got into Street Sharks just because man, it's so much more radical. Like it's all it was. It was like, oh, we'll just make it sharks. They're crazier than turtles, and we'll make like one of them rollerblade, and they've got attitude. Street Sharks was awesome. And then Saturday morning cartoons, Fox Kids, just crushed it. Spider-Man, X-Men, things like Eat the Cat, Bobby's World, Life with Louie, just like Fox Kids Saturday morning was like the highlight of my week for a long time of my childhood. Just every Saturday morning was awesome.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a
Yeah.
cartoon.
And also Nicktoons, Doug, Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy, which my parents like walked in on me watching one time and were like, what is this? And I don't know, I didn't get in trouble for watching that then.
That was one of the first shows where I like changed it to Ren and Stimpy and then like changed it to something else. So when the parents like started walking in, like
You hit the channel jump button?
yeah, to watch something else because like I don't think they ever saw it, but I knew they would be like, no, you're not watching this shit.
No. But
my dad loved it.
Oh no, it's awesome. Like I as a dad now, I would be like, hell yeah.
Have you seen that new reboot adult version of it that came out like
No,
5-10 years ago?
no.
Oh, okay.
I gotta say though, as far as Nicktoons, like I liked All Real Monsters. I never really got into some of the later stuff. Like Angry Beavers was okay. I didn't really like Rocket Power. But Rocko's Modern Life, I still think is probably my all-time favorite like non-action cartoon.
That got rebooted too.
It didn't get rebooted. They did a new, like,
did it?
yeah, it's like,
it's on Netflix.
yeah, it's a Netflix movie. It's super good.
Oh, it's a movie.
It's not. It's like, it's just a long episode. Like it's not like an hour and a half or anything like that. I don't know the actual runtime. It's like 47 minutes or something like that.
But like just one episode?
One episode. It's really, really good. If you haven't watched it, you really need to.
We all grew up to be Filbert the Turtle.
Oh yeah, dude! Turn the page, wash your hands. I also love Tiny Toon Adventures and Animaniacs, the Warner Brother cartoons that were around. I think Freakazoid as well. Those were awesome. Animaniacs was super subversive. There's a lot of stuff in there, and I'll say this too. With Rocko's Modern Life, I rewatched that with my daughter when she was little. I think it came on Netflix, and I was like just super excited about it. So it's like, this is my favorite cartoon growing up, and we're like watching it together. And he works for like a sex phone line.
Yeah.
Like there's stuff in that show where I'm like,
oh baby.
yeah, I didn't even like, I realized it as a kid, but it never hit me as like bad, you know. And
I remember the Toad Lady was a nasty lady.
Oh yeah, Bev Bighead had a huge, yeah. You need to watch the new one; it's ridiculous. But I mean, you know, those kind of like the bulk of it. Batman the animated series was, man, like,
that's probably the top.
God, it's so good. Like it's something I can watch now, and it's so good how how well it combined like art with action and making something that kids are gonna watch, but something that really stands the test of time. That show.
Fuck you, Scorsese.
That show is amazing. And I gotta say there was
much better Joker.
There were two. Oh yeah, Mark Hamill's the best.
Kevin Conroy's the best.
Yeah, Batman. Yeah. There were two cartoons growing up that I was not allowed to watch. One of them was The Simpsons. I don't really know why.
Really?
Yeah, my parents would not let me watch The Simpsons.
I wasn't allowed to either.
I couldn't see the first episode. No, never mind. My dad liked it, so then I could watch it.
Yeah, I was not allowed to watch Simpsons, and I distinctly remember getting in trouble for watching Beavis and Butthead. Like I told my parents I was gonna go play a game. I think the Super Nintendo at the time was hooked up into their room, so I wouldn't wake up in the middle of the night and go play it in the living room. So I went into their room like during the afternoon, and instead of playing, I think, Aladdin on Super Nintendo, which is, man, here's real quick side story, hot take. The Super Nintendo Aladdin is better than the Sega Genesis Aladdin.
Is it really?
It's a big argument. I played both of them. I prefer the Super Nintendo one. Come at me, bro.
I played the Super Nintendo one. I loved it, but
It's so good.
I always saw like clips of the Genesis one. I was like, oh man, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, but anyways,
Jurassic Park on Sega was so much better.
yeah, we're going way off topic here now.
Yeah. Anyways.
But yeah, I think it was the Frog Baseball episode of Beavis and Butthead, and I remember my mom like opening the door to her room and was just like immediately just started like yelling at me, and I was like,
Go cut me a switch.
And she knew, no, it wasn't like that. She knew that I was watching it though, because I think my teacher like tattled on me because I did something good in class, and I threw up the like medal sign and started headbanging, and she was like, "I know where you learned that." And then like a few days later, my mom, I guess, knew I was watching it somehow, and I got in trouble. So, thanks, Mike Judge.
King of the Hill.
Yeah, I don't want to get into like adult like cartoons too much, just because I could go on a huge tangent there, and we only have so much time. We'll get to that at some point.
Another episode.
Yeah, for sure. But Jason, go for it.
You touched most of it. Marvel, anything superhero at the time, like even the old Iron Man, Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
I never saw those.
I think those are on
good.
Disney Plus. They're going to be on Disney Plus, I think.
Yeah. Ninja
Like
Turtles
the classic ones.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
was a big deal to me. Looney Tunes. You didn't touch on that, Ryan, but I love Looney Tunes. Like
Yeah.
I was part of that Tasmanian Devil fad. Like the fact they don't really exist anymore
That little
bums
like
me
kind of
out.
gangster style.
Did you have the shirt with Bugs Bunny and him like holding the basketball?
Yeah, I did.
Their sagging pants and
And I had the movie poster for Space Jam. It was the best. Dino Riders. I'm sure y'all have never heard of it. It only
Yeah,
lasted
Dino Riders
like
was
half
cool.
a season. But
Yeah,
the toys for that game. The toys
the
for that game.
toys. Yeah.
Yeah, the toys were the best.
I wanted those so
Captain-
much.
Captain N and the Game Master.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
They ruined Mother Brain, but yeah.
Yeah, and
There was a-
anything Nintendo at the time, I just ate up. Like Super Mario Brothers Super Show, that show's not good. The Legend of Zelda show, that show's not good, but I ate it up. It was good to
True.
me in my like kid brain, just to see my favorite characters come to life. Pokemon. I knew I was too old to be watching it, but I don't care. That show's good for the first season or so. Master of the Universe, Bucky O'Hare. I love those. I never got into.
I forgot Bucky O'Hare. Bucky O'Hare was there was a Christmas where I specifically asked for one of each action figure, and I got all of them. I got one of each, like Bucky O'Hare. I have no idea what happened to him. I'm so annoyed because apparently they're worth money because they're super rare now. But I had one of each. I had the Toad Stomper vehicle that like had like a whoopee cushion in it, so you would like take it and like stomp on bad guys with it and be like, I don't know, it was awesome.
Great show. Transformers, I didn't get into until Beast Wars, really.
Yeah.
But I loved me some Beast Wars Transformers. Angry Beavers, I loved. That was probably my favorite Nicktoon. I liked Doug because I felt like I was Doug. He made me want to keep a journal.
Every weird little boy was Doug.
Yeah. I still Doug. Still a weird little boy. Teen Titans. I loved Teen Titans. And I'm going to also say I really liked Reboot.
Yeah.
Reboot was really good.
Yeah.
Reboot was
I
pretty
tried,
cool.
That was like
tried
the first time I
rewatching
saw.
it. Jesus, you can't rewatch that show. That show has not aged.
Well,
That was the first cartoon that had that kind of 3D CGI kind of.
yeah,
effect, wasn't it?
them and Beast Wars,
Beast
were
Wars.
the first two like big ones, but I believe Reboot was first.
Yeah.
Same animation company, I believe.
Reboot had one. Reboot was one of those shows that was on TV that for some reason they aired in episodes that weren't in order. So you'd be watching one episode and then the episode after that wouldn't match,
Season
but it was
finale.
like it was so they butchered that show, kind of like what they did with Firefly whenever they showed that on Fox. But
Yeah.
whenever that hit up, what was it on Adult Swim later on or something?
Mhm.
I rewatched it. It was a really good show. Very adult.
Yeah.
That's it.
I really liked Beast Wars. I loved old school Transformers too. I forgot to mention Transformers and G.I. Joe. I used to watch so much G.I. Joe. I was more G.I. Joe than Transformers, but as I've gotten older, I've been like way more into Transformers than G.I. Joe outside of the, not the movies, of course, and not really into those. But I loved Beast Wars. I remember that would come on every morning before I would get ready for school, and I would watch Beast Wars until my ride got there to take me to school.
Ooh, and Starship Troopers.
Oh,
I
the
loved that show.
The Roughneck Chronicles?
Yeah.
Something like that.
The rated R
Yeah.
movie.
No,
Yeah.
there was a cartoon back in the day.
It was
Every rated R
based on the
movie
rated
had
R.
a cartoon. Like
Yeah, RoboCop.
Beetlejuice should never have had a cartoon for kids.
Yeah,
It
Oh
was.
yeah, Beetlejuice.
RoboCop had a good
Yeah.
one.
Buy kids
Oh.
toys.
Also, Exo Squad. Exo Squad was awesome. I loved those toys. I think that was like the last cartoon I was into before I started getting to like too old, where like you can't really play with toys. People are gonna make
Martin
fun of you.
Scorsese's gonna
Martin-
talk shit about your likes.
Power Rangers. Does that count?
Yeah.
I like Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a cartoon.
All right, Adrian.
All right, Adrian.
Fill in the gaps.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, of course. That's probably like my number one growing up as a kid. We'd go out in the playground and I'm Donatello, I'm Michelangelo, and just start beating each other up.
The exact reasons they didn't have weapons in the second movie.
Yeah, did you know Michelangelo's nunchucks, like so iconic, were taken out of the cartoon? Like after like season 1, he never brought them out again. He was always flinging around that little grappling hook.
Yeah, I never noticed that.
Yeah.
Yet Leo kept swords.
Yeah, everyone else, yeah, swords and sai and bow, and everyone else had blasters, but you can't have
Yeah, as I got
nunchucks.
older, I'm like, how did Leonardo never kill anybody?
What else? Batman, of course, animated series. I still picture him standing up there on the top of the building with the red sky, and his eyes are all beady. Oh, it was awesome. Wrong word, but like I don't know. You know, he's like he squints his eyes.
Brooding.
Brooding. There you go.
There you
But
go.
that was is that on anything? Netflix, YouTube?
Yeah, DC Universe. They have their own
Yeah.
streaming site.
You can get the DVDs like fairly cheap, I believe. And they just released like a Blu-ray collection, which
Batman
I
Beyond
still
also.
need one now that I remember it.
Yeah, Batman Beyond. That was awesome too.
Yeah, Batman Beyond was cool.
They need to make that movie. Just don't fuck it up. Yeah, like Jason said, anything Nintendo, that Super Mario Brothers Super Show, we watched that like religiously. And then every Friday was Zelda. Did not age well. I recently saw the Zelda series again. I think there's only like 6 episodes, and they're all garbage.
Well, excuse me,
Yeah.
princess.
Like every episode, like that's what he says. It's fun, but it's shit.
Yeah.
Nicktoons, yeah, the old Nicktoons, like the original 3 with Doug, Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy, secretly, and then Rocco and Our Real Monsters.
Mm-hmm.
I think after that, I was like, what was after that?
Hey Arnold.
Hey, okay, yeah, I didn't get into that. Hey Arnold.
Yeah, I never really
From
liked
that point forward, I just like the other one, the old one, the Disney cartoon afternoon thing
Yeah,
with a tailspin.
yeah. Chippendale.
Chippendale Rescue Rangers. Oh, I had that song stuck in my head like a week ago.
I do now. Instantly.
Uh,
Speaking of a song stuck in your head, DuckTales.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the top Disney cartoon.
Oh.
And also like a fantastic game.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the best music. Capcom made such good games.
Yeah. Capcom is like the best music too. Like all the Mega Man games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So iconic. DuckTales. What's the? Oh, Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
I got into that too.
Let's get dangerous.
Again, Simpsons. Early Simpsons. I haven't seen Simpsons in like 20 years, but like the first like 9-10 seasons are great. After that, it just kind of dropped off. I don't think anyone watches Simpsons anymore, but they still renew it like every year.
No, I watched it recently. I've been binge watching those Treehouse of Horrors because they have it on TV.
Yeah, those are always good.
Yeah, like
They're great.
FXX.
Most recent episode had like a Stranger Things and all that stuff. I'm like, oh, they're still good.
Yeah, when FXX bought Simpsons, like 5 years ago, and they played like the marathon, like all 500 episodes, like it was just on in the background like for a week.
Yeah.
Now
Those are
Disney
really
Plus has it.
Yeah, Disney Plus has all the Simpsons now.
Oh, wow. Go Disney.
Goddamn Disney Plus.
Tiny Toon Adventures and Animaniacs.
Yep.
Also a great game. The Tiny Toon Adventures. I didn't really like Animaniacs game.
It doesn't hold up as well as you remember. Buster Bust Loose.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Wasn't it like based off like a Super Mario 3
I don't
Tiny
remember.
Toons was.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember Tiny Toons Adventures or something like that on the Sega Genesis, and I liked it. It was good.
Also, Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
The one thing I remember like strongly from Dinosaurs is like almost every episode there was like a flub, like the wrong voice was on the wrong character, or a whole like 3 seconds of like animation was not colored.
Huh. I don't remember any of that, but I don't doubt it. It was
It's just like those 80s, like, all right, just gotta rush this shit out real quick kind of thing. Growing up like really young, I really like Voltron, He-Man, Thundercats, anything with a sword. Because I was just running around with sticks. We were poor, so we were running around with sticks. Just look at me, I'm He-Man.
I still do that.
So let's transition now into like modern stuff, like stuff that I watch with my kids. And I'll, since Grayson's so young, Jason, you're not really into it yet, but oh man, you're gonna experience some new fresh hell that we won't have to. So they're cranking these things out faster and faster. It's insane how many of these there are. I'm gonna start this off and say, fuck Caillou. Seriously, fuck Caillou. That is the worst show I ever saw. Like, I watched one episode of it and I was like, never again. Like, I put my foot down, like, no, that show is awful. That kid is awful.
I've heard you say that, so I've never even started watching it.
I'm gonna make you watch like a clip on YouTube, and you're gonna just walk away from that going,
fuck Caillou.
Yeah.
I love Peppa Pig.
Yeah, Peppa Pig's
that's actually pretty good. It's not bad.
Bad, but I don't know. I don't like it, but it's not bad.
She's savage.
Ben, when he was little, was really into Bubble Guppies, which didn't bother me, although it did the thing that I can't stand of the characters on screen like stopping and turning and looking at like the viewers and saying like, where's his hat? I'm like, look behind you. It's right there. Like, what are you doing?
You're here to entertain me. I don't need to answer to you.
Exactly. But they had good, Bubble Guppies had like good songs, so I was entertained by that.
Oh, Goldfish Teacher was cool. I like him.
He was all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, he didn't really watch a lot of shows. Like he played a lot. Like I was kind of lucky in that, where just the stuff was on in the background. I do remember he liked Paw Patrol though.
Mm-hmm.
He got into that. That show was annoying. There's a kid on that show named Alex, and Alex is basically in the same league as Caillou to me. He messes things up, and then there's like no consequences for it. Like this kid and his stupid dogs bail him out all the time. And it's like, no, you did that because you were being unsafe. There should be a consequence for that. Like, I'm not saying like, put you in jail, but like, where are your parents? What's going on here? Where are all your parents?
There's a cop dog. Like, go arrest the parents.
Yeah, like they're neglecting that kid. They're just pawning him off on you, and then you're having to rescue him all the time. Like, it's a waste of resources and time.
There are actual crimes happening right now.
Exactly. There's real emergencies, but no, we got to help this kid get his lunchbox on the bus because he's a jackass. But but my daughter watched a lot more, and she's older, so the shows she watched are kind of gone now. There's like, she really liked a show called like Wow Wow Wubsy. There was a really cool show called Yo Gabba Gabba. I loved Yo Gabba Gabba. I was totally down for that. She did like to watch Dora. Couldn't stand Dora because she constantly turned and looked and asked me questions. I'm like, no. And same thing with like, I think Team Umizoomi did that a lot. Or I was like,
they're making a Dora movie. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
it's out.
Yeah, but like Team Umizoomi would look at me and be like, "What's 4 + 4?" I'm like, "You figure it out." Like, what? Like, just I don't know. But like as they've gotten older, my daughter like was really into Phineas and Ferb as she like got older, and I love Phineas and Ferb. That show is so good. Some of those guys who worked on Rocko's Modern Life worked on that. I think Dan Povenmire and Jeff Swampy Marsh went to work on Phineas and Ferb, and that show's so good. I love Doofenshmirtz. I love Major Monogram. I will watch that show when my kids are not around, like unashamed. Like it's just good. It's a good goofy show. Gravity Falls, she got into that, and Gravity Falls is awesome.
Isn't that also kind of connected somehow in the same universe as like Rick and Morty?
There's a reference to Rick and Morty. The guys who run the show are friends. Alex Hirsch is friends with the showrunners of Rick and Morty. So when there's an episode where Rick shoots his portal gun and some stuff falls out of it, and it's stuff that got sucked into a portal in an episode of Gravity Falls, I think, or it's vice versa, something like that. And so like now my son has gotten into those shows because my daughter has like shown those to him, so he likes Phineas and Ferb. He watched all of Gravity Falls, went straight from Gravity Falls, and he's watched Steven Universe now. I think he's almost caught up on that, and that, like, I like those shows, like, they're good. And right now he's currently in the middle, or starting kind of the middle beginning of Adventure Time, and that show, I love that show. It's dumb and goofy and has, a heart to it. So I'll watch that with him. Not like Teen Titans Go. Not a huge fan of that, although there's like a few gags and a few episodes that I like.
I never saw the show, but the movie was freaking hysterical.
Like the new movie?
Yeah, Teen Titans Go to the movies?
Yes, yeah, that movie was hysterical.
Yeah, like there's episodes of the show that are funny. Like there's one that's like The Night Begins to Shine, where with like this song, and once you hear the song, it'll get stuck in your head. So, I watch some stuff here and there with him. Gumball is really kind of fun. There's some good episodes of that are goofy and fun to watch. There's a lot more to that show than you see on the surface. So Adrian, your daughter is a little bit younger than Ben. What did you have to suffer through?
So I guess we're lucky that we didn't have money for cable, so it was mostly like Netflix stuff. So yeah. We kind of, she can watch whatever like we made her watch. It wasn't just like, oh, this is the only thing that's on. So
child's play.
Yeah. We steered her towards like I guess more educational stuff. Mm-hmm. One of my favorites, like early on, was Storybots.
Yeah, Storybots. Jason, Storybots is awesome. You should put that on for Grayson, like in the background now.
You should watch it. It's good.
It's entertaining. I like it.
Put a lot of background for Grace.
There's like a lot of cool guest stars. Mm-hmm. The music is great.
Yeah.
I never saw Yo Gabba Gabba, but I think it's kind of like a modern version of it.
Yeah, I mean not like 100% because like Yo Gabba Gabba was like live action and like people in suits and stuff. The spirit is kind of the same, where it
caters to kids, but it's also like, hey, adults are.
Yeah, here we know you're suffering through this. Why don't here's a joke for you, or here's something you can enjoy.
She was very big into PJ Masks. These are all like Netflix shows. The kids superheroes.
Yeah, they put on their pajamas and become superheroes.
It took me forever to realize that that's what the PJ was pajamas. I was like, oh yeah, it's always at night. Okay.
Did you like think one of their name was PJ?
Like, yeah, actually, I don't know what it was. We took her to a local theater here, Majestic Theater. It was like a live show of PJ Masks. That was like her first like show / movie that she went to. It wasn't a movie, but like her first like outing. That was a lot of fun, and she's actually gonna be Owlette for Halloween this year.
For those who watch the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bubble Guppies was good. I like that one. Puppy Dog Pals was actually, I think it's one of my like guilty pleasures, I guess.
Some of it's okay. It's Harlan Williams.
Yeah.
Like, so I want to hate it more than I do. Ben got really into that too. Like, he was right on the tail end of like him being too old for that show, was like right as it was getting popular. But he was into it. Like, it's not awful, but like they're just too fucking happy all the time.
It was, but that's kind of like Harlan Williams. Like, even in Half Baked,
yeah,
the other side of the spectrum.
I love butter stuff.
He's just a happy guy. I know something that Ryan hates is true.
I like Bartleby the cat. Bartleby the cat is cool, but everything else on that show is annoying.
It's annoying, yeah. I kind of like it because it kind of reminds me of like a Super Mario World. It's kind of like Mushroom Kingdom kind of thing.
Eh,
A little bit.
eh.
There's this one character. The whole thing of the story is like, this girl who some problem happens in this kingdom and she has to go grab these wishes and make a wish to fix the problems. But it's not just to wish the problem away. She make wish. The wishes are like tools. So like she uses the tools to fix the problems. But there's this one character, Z. He like sits with her and like, okay, well before we do anything, let's just take a deep breath, calm down, and like work through the problem. So we kind of use that for our kid.
Yeah, I can see
Like,
that.
all right, before we start going nuts about everything, just take a deep breath, calm down,
Where's
just work through the problem.
Where's my cat? Where's Bartleby?
Yeah.
And we made Grayson watch that and be like, okay, what's the problem? I know you're teething. Work through it.
Take a deep breath, little guy.
You told me there was a miracle show on here that y'all were going to mention that. Makes me sick.
he was being facetious.
Well, yeah. There
This
is
is
a show. There's another, I guess, guilty pleasure, Miraculous.
I don't know what that is.
It's kind of like a preteen version of PJ Masks. It's these two like high school kids or college. I don't know what it is, but like they're college kids by day, but then like they turn into superheroes to like fight some supervillain who like creates other villains, kind of like a
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers. But it's these two guys. It's a girl and a guy, and she has a crush on him in the real world,
What?
and he has a crush on her in the superhero world.
Do they know who each other are?
They don't know. That's the thing, though. They're like individual superheroes that come together when something's going on, but they don't know who each other are. They don't know anything about each other at all. It's that's kind of weird.
I hate everything right now. Everything y'all have said, I'm just like, oh God.
All of this sounds horrible if I
I
were
want
in
to
your
cry.
shoes.
No, dude, I'm telling you, Storybots.
Storybots.
Just go to Storybots.
You will like that one. You will like that one right now. Spoiler alert, the main villain of that Miraculous one is the guy's father. When I saw that episode, I was like, holy shit. So
You're like, whoa! Like Charlotte's like not even paying attention, like picking her nose, and you're like on the edge of your seat.
yeah, so like new episodes came out this past month. So like, all right, baby, you want to watch Ladybug?
Oh shit.
One of her new shows that she likes is Archibald. Kind of reminds me of like a old school DuckTales. It's just kind of like little wacky adventures with duck people. It was created by the guy from
Tony Hale,
what's it? Arrested Development. Yeah.
Buster.
Voice
He's
of Forky.
Yeah, he's Forky also in Toy Story 4.
Oh yeah. But he's
And
the
other
voice
stuff.
of Archibald, and he created. You got a lot of guest stars on there, like Gary Cole and other Arrested Development people. I really tried to show her like a lot of the old Disney stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't like the new Disney stuff. It's just, I don't know. It's
Robin Hood, man. Robin Hood's so good.
yeah. Her favorite movie is Into the Spider-Verse. That's like one of my favorite like
Yeah,
Marvel
that's a
movies
good
probably.
one.
Yeah.
That's the best Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Lucked out there.
What else? So things that we just like. There's gonna be things that you just want to not show your kid. Larvae. It's like a weird. It's kind of like gross out Ren and Stimpy humor, but like for 3-year-olds. So it's
Yeah.
just kind of like I'm not
Pass.
gonna. Yeah, we're not gonna watch this.
Pass.
So pay attention to what your kid's watching, because a lot of it's just garbage. Same with like a lot of like YouTube stuff. It's just like mind-numbing, stupid things. But yeah, Storybox. I totally recommend that.
Yeah. For like young kids, Storybots for sure, 100%.
It has that like educational Sesame Street vibe.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I think you have some good recommendations and stay away from there, Jason. Any other dads or parents listening, send us an email. Let us know your cartoons that you like to watch with your kids, ones you can't stand to watch, and then your guilty pleasures, like the one you'll watch when they're not around, like Miraculous and Phineas and Ferb. But yeah, I thank you for listening. Please give us a like, a subscribe, and rate us. We're still continuing to grow and reach out to new platforms to listen to us on. So please, help us spread the word. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/nextgenretromen.
Instagram at nextgenretromen, and also Twitter at nextgenretromen.
Also, send us an email at nextgenretromen@gmail.com.
I think that's it. Did we cover it all?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
So again, thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Fuck Caillou. Fuck Alex.
And Scorsese.